The camera industry has a secret. They want you confused, overwhelmed, spending thousands on the wrong gear. What if you had a list not from a spec sheet but from the trenches? From someone who drop tested and pushed every 2025 model to its absolute limit today, that ends we're cutting through the noise and the hype to reveal the only 5 mirrorless cameras that truly dominate. One of them costs less than your phone, and number 1? It will redefine what you think is possible, but be warned, your favorite brand might not be on this list. Let's get controversial. Starting at number 1. Canon EOS R10. The Canon EOS R10 is one of the best entry-level mirrorless cameras we've tested. Though it isn't exactly cheap, it's a well-rounded choice for beginners who can afford it, with excellent ergonomics and a highly intuitive user interface. Its image quality is great thanks to its high-res aps-c sensor, and the camera is versatile enough for video work and vlogs. With 4K recording at up to 60 frames per second, you can record video in a wide range of styles. The R10 also has a great battery life and one of the most reliable autofocus systems among entry-level models. That said, lens selection is still somewhat limited for Canon's RF mount, though you can adapt older EF and EFS lenses if you buy an EF EOS R adapter. If you'd prefer a more established mirrorless system, the Fujifilm X-S10 is another great choice, and it features in-body image stabilization, IBIS, to help you get smoother handheld shots. However, it's been discontinued, and it may be harder to find brand new. Its autofocus also isn't as reliable as the AF on the Canon. Number 2. Sony α6400. If you're specifically after an entry-level camera with a wide selection of lenses to choose from, a Sony alpha camera like the Sony α6400 is the way to go. Sony's E-mount is well established, with plenty of native and third-party lens options that you can upgrade to as your style and skills grow. The α6400 has begun to show its age a bit, especially compared to the newer, higher-end Sony α6700, which has improved ergonomics and video features. However, its sensor more than holds up, and its autofocus system remains one of the best in its class at this price point, even today. For those who want to save even more money, the Sony α6100 uses the same sensor but has a lower resolution EVF and a slightly cheaper build. On the flip side, the pricier Sony α6600 takes that same sensor and puts it in a sturdier body with a bigger battery and IBIS. Overall, the choice between these 3 cameras comes down to what you need out of a camera body, but they all capture beautiful images and high-quality 4K video, so each one can be a good choice, depending on your budget. Number 3. Canon EOS R50. Those on a tighter budget will love the Canon EOS R50, one of the best value starter cameras on the market. It's portable enough to take on the go and features a high-resolution aps-c sensor that performs well for its class. It's also incredibly intuitive to use for those who've only ever used a smartphone camera, thanks to a robust auto mode that takes most of the guesswork out of photography. Plus, it's a solid vlogging camera, with 4K video recording at up to 30 frames per second and a fully articulated screen to help you monitor yourself while recording. The Olympus OMD-EM10 Mark IV is another great budget camera, especially if you need something even more portable. It's part of the Micro Four Thirds system, so compatible lenses are more compact, and there are more lenses to choose from. Plus, it's one of the very few cameras at this price point to feature IBIS. Its autofocus isn't nearly as reliable as the AF on the R50, and its ergonomics can feel more cramped. Number 4. Sony ZV-E10. If you want to get started in video, look no further than the Sony ZV-E10. This budget vlogging camera is the perfect video camera to get you started. It's similar to Sony alpha cameras like the Sony α6400 mentioned above, but is geared more toward vloggers and video shooters. To that end, it has an updated internal microphone, a detachable windscreen to reduce ambient noise, and a fully articulated screen that makes it easy to monitor yourself while recording. Unfortunately, you don't get a viewfinder here, but the camera is super portable and feels relatively well built. Its battery life is also impressive for a mirrorless model. Plus, its autofocus system is reliable and accurate, and it even has specialized focus modes for vloggers, like Product Showcase, which automatically switches focus to any object held up in the frame for, say, product reviews or makeup tutorials. Do note that the Sony ZV-E10 II has hit the market and has better internal recording features than its predecessor, but the original ZV-E10 is hard to beat for the price, especially if you're just starting out and don't need more advanced features like 10-bit recording. Number 5. Canon EOS R100. Cheap isn't really a word that comes to mind when we think of cameras, but there are options out there that won't cost you a fortune. Your best bet is to look for a camera on the used market, but if you don't want to risk it or if that isn't an option for you, the Canon EOS R100 is a good choice for beginners who want to keep costs down as much as possible. It's as basic as they come, with no tilt screen, minimal controls, and limited video features. What it does have, though, is a high-resolution aps-c sensor that can capture great images. It's also chock full of useful auto modes to help beginners get started. More importantly, if you've never used a camera before and this is the only one within your budget, it'll get you out there shooting, which ultimately transcends having the latest and greatest camera tech. So did we get it right? Was your pick on the list, or are you reconsidering everything? The real test starts now. Go to those camera store websites, look at them differently. You have the insider knowledge. If this honest breakdown saved you from a costly mistake, prove it to the algorithm. Hit like right now, share this with your friend who's been endlessly researching, and subscribe, because next week we're exposing the one lens that makes all of these cameras sing. The direct links to the best prices for all 5 cameras. They're waiting, updated for 2025 in the description below. Check them out. Until next time, keep shooting.